Right, Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Raha, Kodash, the ones to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to the elect, pushing the word across the four corners of the earth, risking your life to do so. All right, and you can see here, this is in Iran. They actually created a statue of Baal and with an obelisk, basically to condemn Esau, Edom, which is a huge turn of events because over there in what we call the Middle East, we of course we know it's what really Western Asia. They've been, there's been a lot of infighting, and Esau has kept them, kingdom against kingdom, But now we can see certain things manifest, and that helps to fulfill prophecy, right? Because they say, well, it talks about the dragons of Arabia, it talks about all these different nations finally coming back and going to war with Esau. And the Arabs got very rich off of doing business with Esau, doing trade and bringing certain things in and out. So they always been, very corrupt, very viable. But as the U.S. economy slips, the NATO economy slips, and a lot of the politics failing, we can see them, changing and switching up, which is beautiful. And here they have they actually put up Baal as a representation for them, and then you can see all these symbols on here. One of them being the star of Moloch, right, aka the star of Baal, which is not the star of David. We'll just let it play. They actually burned this idol, like I said, as it was a representation of Esau. Yeah, they burned the obelisk too. They said, no, the time is running out. Yeah, it's about damn time. And I believe, well, we already know it's because of this word has went out. Yep, this is Jeremiah 50:1. The word of the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. You had Babylon, and of course you had the Chaldeans. Yeah, witches, warlocks, those who are considered the wisest. Okay, basically the same thing. Verse 2, declare ye among the nations, and publish, and set up a standard, publish and conceal not, and say, Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded. Baal is the same thing. Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. Right, that's what this place is represented, man. It's modern day Babylon. And so-called Christians, a lot of them will agree upon that. A lot of those rabbis will agree upon that. They'll agree. Oh, those people are Esau, not understanding that you are also Esau too, right? For those false rabbis, because you do have a lot of you have a lot of Israelites amongst Amalek and amongst Esau. So we'll see who's who, but do they have the correct doctrine? That's the name. Do they have the name? And the answer is no. Right, so in some way they're false too. But in the end of the day, the Lord said, "What? Though Satan cast out Satan," that's how you know we're at the end. Because Satan, Satan is warring against Satan. Like I said, the Arabs, you guys have done business with Esau for a long time. Even, let me see. Yeah, Esau actually took wives of Ishmael. Genesis 28 and 7. And that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother and was going to Padan Aram. For verse 6. And when Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Padan Aram and took a wife from thence, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. And that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother and was going to Padan Aram. And Esau, seeing that his daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, at verse 9, then went Esau unto Ishmael and took unto the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife. Exactly. So which Ishmael was Esau's uncle. So that would have been his cousins. Yeah, that'd have been his cousin. All right, so their marriages go back a long time. A long time. From the beginning. From the beginning. All right, we're going on. Because these Ishmaelites, they come over here and they know. Many of them, they know who we are. You mention the son of Jacob, they'll actually acknowledge it. Do it. Go into there, talk to them and ask them. Now, some of them, they ain't gonna tell you shit, but the older ones, they'll kind of acknowledge it and then try to play it off. Right, but they know who the sons of Jacob are, man. They know who received the blessing. Okay. And this is Acts 7:43. This is another way we know that star. It said, Yea, ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon. All right, and here it is, that star of Hinduism, Catholicism, Islam. Which Islam, that looked more like the head of the goat. That's a pentagram, so it's slightly different. That's it. Buddhism, Judaism, Freemasons, Mormons, Satanism, Gnosticism. It was Satanism. Baal worship is basically Satanism. Worship all these false gods and goddesses. The scriptures talk about you worship devils. Yeah, Baruch 4 and 6, you were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath, you were delivered to the enemies. For you provoked him that made you by sacrificing to devils and not to the Most High. And all these false gods and goddesses, devils. All right, devils. Yep, 2 Ezra 15 and 28. Behold, a horrible vision in the appearance thereof from the east. Which, when you get into that Asia stuff, that was named after a Roman general, if I recall correctly, Asiaticus. Then you had Africanus, Leo Scipio Africanus. So whatever the real name for these places are, we're going to restore those in the kingdom too. Because that's another way Esau changes shit. They change the names of this country, change the names of these places. Like what was Ukraine used to be Russia. A lot of that Eastern Europe, it was cut off. When you look at the old maps, and then they rechange it, redefine it. Right, same way they did in Israel, the state of Israel. For you watch that old Indiana Jones movie, it was called Palestine. Yeah, which we know goes back to the Philistines. We know we were there in Israel afterwards, but then they changed. I think it was at the World War II. They said, okay, you're gonna get this much land, and then through and through, They just kept pushing over, and it's still not a fulfillment of that promise to Abraham. Right? It was supposed to be from Egypt to Assyria. Still not the promise that's fulfilled, and it never will be. Right? Because the land wouldn't promise you. But back to this one, it says, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. It says also the Carmanians raging in wrath, which that's the modern day Iranians, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them. So they're gonna join with the dragons of Arabia and these other different Arab nations. And it's about damn time. Like, they've been divided over. You know what they divided over? They divided over Islam. Who the successor to the Prophet Muhammad? If I believe one side is Sunni, one side is Shia. One side says that his nephew or his uncle or some shit, and the other side says his cousin. It's a bunch of madness, right, over a guy who wasn't even a prophet in the first place. Right, which goes to show you, they were never given the counsel of the Lord, because the Quran is complete and utter bullshit. All right, it says, they had these ginsengs in there. And I asked the Arab dude, I said, is this haram? He said, yes, anything that affects your body is haram. I said, okay. In my mind, I'm saying, this stupid ass shit, this dude. But anyway, it says, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. So that's what we're waiting on, and we're seeing why. We're seeing why. It's a head of Dubai-based ports giant quits after Epstein links revealed. And see, they know that they're part of it. They're part of the global game too. Right? They play that game with Esau of slavery and the souls of men being trafficked. They played their part heavily, right? Especially with us. That's why in the Psalms 83 club, they're mentioned right after Esau. Right? They still have people enslaved over there. And they ain't just some righteous sultans over there with oil money and all that. They do a lot. Right? A lot of the heroin and the shit that comes over here, that's them sending that shit over there. And they put curses on it before they send it over here. And then next thing you know, some dumbass Jake somewhere is walking around on a train shitting on himself with demons on, punching out windows and shit. Hey, it's time for Israel to wake the fuck up, man. The whole world is moving. The whole world is in motion. And for all you Israelites there, man, the Lord said, my doctrine shall drop his rain. All you guys who ain't right, the Lord is about to drop your ass. All right? Isaiah 55:10, for as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth in bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. For as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, verse 11, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. And don't the rain, they say the Lord bringeth the rain from around the whole earth. Yeah, that's Job 38:25, who had divided a waterway for the overflowing of waters, or a way for the lightning of thunder, to cause it to rain on the earth where no man is, on the wilderness wherein there is no man, to satisfy the desolate and waste ground, and to cause the bud of the tender herb to spring forth, which is happening shortly. All right, this is going to be the first rains, about the frost, the cold frost is about to break. This is about to be the first of the rain that comes out. All right, and it's all through the Lord. It was time for the snow, the ice, and now, it's time for everything to change now, and everything to bud and bring forth life, which is how you know you're in the new year. All right, and so the Lord said, well, He makes all things new again, and that's what His word has done, man. It's made us new. It's made us refreshed. He's given us His new name, His refreshed name. So all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. All right. Let's continue to feed the flock, continue to warn them of the wolves coming in, because the wolves are coming. They don't have a lot of time, and they know that. Power's running out. Deception is pretty much ran out. They've been exposed. All right. There's no going back now. And shalom to the elect.